I just wanted to do this video today to talk about some of the negative things that are being spread around social media. And no matter what your views are or your perspective or what camp you're in, there's a lot of negative emotions. There's some positive things where there's lots of positive stuff shared, but if you're looking at any news of any form of mainstream or just social media posts, there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety. For instance, myself, I just noticed, I looked at a post, and that post, I realized that the post, it was emanating fear, basically. It was about something that was frightening, but I wasn't frightened of it. It was something that was an action that I was going to take, was to write a letter and sign a petition. So that was kind of empowering. It wasn't necessarily good news, but I noticed that coming off this post, there was a lot of fear. And it's taken me quite a bit to actually get to the point where I'm aware that it wasn't my emotion. It wasn't really something that was triggered in me. It was actually fear coming off the post. And the post was definitely something that people would be frightened of. So I'm not saying the post is evil or that people shouldn't be sharing, but people have been sharing and with all the good intentions, but they're also sharing everyone's fear and anxiety, or, it depends on what the post is. There'll be other posts that they're sharing people's anger that actually, and some of us are more sensitive to this than others, and some of us are probably more aware of it than others. I know for me, I've been, it's been a challenging time, and a lot of emotions are actually coming up. And I realized by looking, for me, it's looking at Telegram, but actually looking at those things, there's emotions that come with the posts. And it's something to be aware of. We're kind of aware of, well, there's news that's scary, and there's something to be aware of, is that our emotion, actually, which it sounds a bit odd. I know it sounds a bit odd, and it might be your emotion. You might be having a response, but I feel that is being compounded. It definitely is for me. And I've definitely become aware of it more recently, and more recently it's been very highlighted that these posts, that there are emotions attached. And so if you are maybe feeling in not the best state, then it can swing you to more of the negative emotions and to get into more of a negative state. And it's not to say not to look at social media or not to look at whatever news or that you're getting, but just to be aware of that, and to be a little bit aware of where you get your news from, what intention there is behind the media. Because what I was experiencing, that was just a post, and it seems to contain people's energy of what that's what I feel I was feeling. I was feeling people's energies behind what they felt when they saw the post. That's what I felt. So it was something that was quite fearful. It's maybe something that's coming in as a law that people don't want, that people are afraid of. So there was a lot of that attached to it. But there are also, I am aware that it's out there. There are things that have actually been intentionally prayed over, if you like, or black magic has been actually put into these symbols and these things. So when we're looking at some of the stuff on social media or on the media or in videos or in movies, we're actually, symbols, company logos, they're actually got an intention behind them as well. So that's another aspect of when actually something is intentionally put out there to have a programming response. And just the empowerment of this is that we can be aware of it. We can be aware that that's out there, and that we can be aware, oh, maybe this isn't my emotion, and maybe I'll just let that go. I've seen the post. If there was an action I needed to take, I've taken an action, and then just let that go. Do whatever techniques that you have to clear, to let go of that, to be free of that negativity. And also to be aware of, it depends on what it is, to be aware of maybe not sharing things like that are, I'm talking about more the things that, if there's something that feels really bad, or there's something that there's a symbol with a lot of energetic stuff behind that, or you feel like this is a really negative way of presenting it, because there are more positive, less negative ways to present negative information that is out there. To just be aware of what are you putting out there? What are you sharing? What messages are you giving when you do social media? And who are you watching? What atmosphere, what energy do you get off that person when you watch them? And to maybe see if is there someone else sharing that same similar information, but I don't feel so negative when I'm watching them or reading their stuff. That's something I've done, is to go to sources that I don't feel so much negativity. And this isn't meaning to say the person's bad. It just may be that they're in a bad state of mind themselves. They're discovering all this stuff, there's a lot of horrible news out there. There's a lot of horrible stuff to discover, and that they're not able to detach emotionally and present it in a more positive way. I'm not even saying more positive, less negative. They're not able, some journalists are able to put more of a positive spin. They're saying, this is negative, but there's still a positive. We can get out of this, or this is how we can be empowered from this information. And it's just something to think of, and just having that awareness up front, and not kind of being like, oh, I'm in this, and not getting stuck in those negative emotions, and moving out and just realizing, okay, I'm away from that now, and to focus on the good in this world, what's beautiful and what you're grateful for. Particularly if you have been looking at something that's negative, just reminding of the good, because completely, like, at a bigger level, they say that there's kind of a war going on in this planet at the moment, and ultimately that is a spiritual battle, a battle between the positive and the negative, the light and the dark, the love and the fear. And we want those light, love, fear. We want the light and the love to triumph over that fear, over that darkness. And we need to be an expression of that. We need to to be the change that we want to see in the world. If we want to see the world, we want to see the world as being beautiful. We want to see the world as being light and full of abundance and hope. We need to be living our lives like that right now. Because if we, and this is not about being asleep, sticking our heads in the sand, it's about navigating. It's about navigating that. How do I remain awake? Still see some of this information, be aware of it, but not letting that consume me and not letting that be your focus either. So I do choose to look at the negative stuff, but I don't choose to fill my day with that negative stuff. I look at it, I do it, and I remain in as much of a positive state as I can. Put out those kind of energetic barriers and without shutting down from myself completely or from my emotions, still feel it, and then move on and focus on what I want in the world. So blessings to you all. Thank you for watching.